What's up, guys? Welcome to Arcade Fire. I'm Sean Collier.
I'm Tiffany Lindsay.
And I'm Taylor Mitchell.
And, does somebody else have the game releases already up?
Yes, I have the game releases up. Thank you, Sean, for not being prepared.
Yes, I'm sorry.
He's never prepared.
I was setting things up.
We have Memoranda on January 25th is for PC. We have the Wardrobe on January 26th for PC. We have Disgaea 2 on January 30th for PC. We have Double Dragon 4 on January 30th for PC and PS4. We have Conan Exiles on January 30th for PC. Constructor on January 31st for PC, PS4, and Xbox One. Digimon World: The Next World Order, January 31st for PS4. Divide, January 31st, PS4. Hitman Season 1, January 31st, PC, PS4, and Xbox One. And then Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Mega Battle, January 31st, PS4, and Xbox One. I thought Hitman Season 1 was already out.
I thought so, too.
Is this the physical copy?
It's the all together edition.
Oh, it's not the I bought season pass and I get it all now.
It's kind of like what Telltale does. Like they come out with the disc and the definitive game together for a cheaper price.
Okay.
Gotcha.
It's like I know several people who've been playing that entire game.
Yeah.
Also, there's another Digimon World game. I hate that Digimon World games are always on PlayStations.
Well, I mean, honestly, PlayStation is better, first off. And second off, like, they get better, like, Japanese titles and things like that. And I'm guessing it's because Sony's Japanese, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably just easier to do contracting.
Did you guys play the other Digimon game that they made?
Like the one that came out last year?
Cyber Sleuth, I've not.
I didn't like it.
I never even looked at it.
I played a lot of the ones back on like the earlier PlayStations. Because my cousins had them.
Yeah.
And then I played Dusk and Dawn on the DS, which were wonderful games.
Yeah.
So I kind of love Digimon World games, but I don't get to play them because I never have a system that has it.
Well, I'm sure it doesn't surprise you that I played the one last year.
I don't know.
Well, you see, the thing with the game was it's supposed to be like a mystery type thing, like you're kind of like a detective, whatever, which is not bad. But the game focused on more dialogue and finding clues than it had to do with actual Digimon, which is fine if it wasn't a Digimon game.
Yeah.
You wanted to see Greymon beat the crap out of somebody.
And I mean, there was like, you could go in, into the Digi world and just kind of grind if you want to, or you could go online, which was a little bit of a hassle, but you could do it. But it just like, I didn't care about talking to everybody constantly. I just, this isn't that kind of game. And that's how it was. So I didn't finish it because I got mad.
Didn't hit that nostalgia point of just telling a Digimon to beat up another Digimon.
Yeah, which is crazy because, I've actually never watched the show.
You've never seen any of them?
No, like somehow, like when I was a kid, I just assumed that it was a rip-off of Pokemon, so I just didn't bother.
It's actually really not. It's actually kind of better.
Yeah, but when you were I know that now. Because I played the games when I got older. Like, I went back and played a couple of DS games, and that's the only other ones I played other than the one that came out last year. So, yeah, I know that now. But when you're, like, 8 and you just see it, you're just kind of like, that looks lame. Like, Pokemon's better. And then, like...
I didn't play any Digimon games, ever.
But, like...
Well,
like,
it's
my
not like I don't
stepbrother...
want to. I just haven't.
My stepbrother was like that, though, with any Game Boy Advance Pokemon games. Like, he was just, like, one of those elitists, even as a kid. It's like, only the originals are better. Like, so after Crystal, he just wouldn't touch them.
That's actually wrong, though, because they get better as you go on.
Not with Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum.
Hey.
They were slow. They were bad. And they're the only ones I have not replayed.
They were slow, but they are not bad. I have played those games more than I have played any of the other ones.
I'm sorry.
I have to say that I like the originals a lot, and I like Gen 2 somewhat. And then the newer games I really like. But as far as like in between, I'm just like, I mean, they're okay, but I'm just
I like them all except for Gen 4. And that is the only ones I have not replayed.
Which one is that? I don't even know.
Diamond, Pearl, Platinum.
Okay, that's the Gen 4. Okay.
Yeah,
my favorite generation of Pokemon.
And it's like the only ones I haven't replayed. Like, I've restarted all the other games, obviously, except for Moon. A few times. I sold them out afterwards, after I got my Pokemon off into a different game. I just did not care. Platinum, I could tolerate. Platinum was the only one out of the 3 I finished.
I played Diamond, and I liked it, so...
It was too slow for me.
She's too impatient.
Yeah.
That's the issue.
Well, that's one of the reasons why I liked Black and White is because it was a lot faster, but at the same time, that the Pokemon in that game were just.
Yeah.
I mean, I liked them, but at the same time, they were ridiculous.
I actually loved X and Y, and a lot of people tell me they like the game, but they hate the Pokemon. But I like the Pokemon.
No,
too.
I love
I
X.
haven't played X and Y because I don't have a 3DS, and it makes me really sad.
X and Y. It was
Fix that problem.
X and Y is like one of my favorites.
My favorite's Soul Silver, but that's beside the point. What's
Yeah.
the next game that comes out?
Okay, they're making a Power Rangers game. Why?
Yeah, I think this is actually like just a beat 'em up for Mighty Morphin. I think. Yeah.
Oh, okay. And then they're making a Double Dragon game. That's cool.
We all need more Double Dragon games.
Yes.
I haven't played one.
Either
It's-
I don't worry about it. It's
well,
okay.
It's okay. Like if I'm right, Double Dragon was like an old game, and it was like a co-op style, like
It's kind of like Streets of Rage.
yeah, that kind of thing, and it was really cool. And then they did make a game like in the past few years, I think, and it was like an updated graphics one.
Double
And
Dragon Neo.
And it was pretty cool. Like it looked really good. And I'm assuming this one is like because that one did well, they're making this one.
I'll probably never get around to it, to be honest. And I mean, I hate to be like
Yeah.
that, but there's other games on my priority list.
Yeah,
Which
definitely.
do y'all care if I talk about a game that just came out that I like?
Resident Evil 7.
Tell me how good Kingdom Hearts 2.8 is.
He knew exactly where I was going. Which I mean, I think it's relevant because it came out Tuesday. So I mean, it came out
yesterday.
Yeah. So I mean, and so did a bunch of other games, but that was the only game that I spent my money on, and it's so nice because it's running at 60 frames per second. And you know how great that is for like a Square Enix game.
And you
Yeah.
never played 3D, had you?
No, I haven't played it. There's
Wait,
only been
so it runs in 60 frames?
yeah.
I can imagine how
That's
good Dream
awesome.
Drop
Well, they
Distance
claim
is.
that it's probably closer to like 50 something, but
Well, I'm saying, but it's not 30. It's not
Yeah.
locked at 30.
and it's so smooth. Like the parts that like, because I looked up the game and I wanted to see which part messed with the touchpad, things like that. It's so smooth, and I haven't had any crashing issues. Like they did a really good port. Like
I kind of figured you would like Dream Drop Distance. Have you played it before?
mm-mm.
Yeah, okay. I figured you'd like that one because there's a lot of like, because you collect like the creatures and stuff.
Yeah, there's only been
And
2
like
Kingdom
Pokemon
Hearts
Kingdom
games
Hearts.
that I have not played, and that was one of them.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, that blows anybody's mind when I tell them there's been a Kingdom Hearts game I haven't played, but I haven't played that when I watched the story online because I couldn't have access to the game at the time when it came out. But
Like I love the 3DS
smooth.
version of the game, but I think you're playing the ideal version.
yeah, and like
Yes.
I literally looked up the parts that would be touchpad, and it's smooth. Like you couldn't tell like they had to change it around.
Yeah.
So they did an amazing job. I haven't played,
Yeah.
the other 2 things, obviously, but yeah, it's real
Nice.
smooth. There's no issues for anybody who was worried about it being ported from a 3DS.
That's
I
awesome.
mean, it's kind of like when we talked about last week with Train of Memories is that I played the Game Boy version. I
Yeah.
love that game,
Yeah.
but still the PS2 version is objectively probably better.
Yeah.
Even
I
though
mean,
you have Haley Joel Osment's
Because
weird
I
voice.
remember playing the Game Boy version and I absolutely loved it. Like it was like one of my favorite like Game Boy games at the time. And then I didn't play a lot of the PS2 version. I played a little bit of it, and I was just like, I like it, but personally, since I had more experience with the Game Boy one, I liked that one more.
Well, I never got the PS2 copy, so I mean, I guess you could technically say there is another game, but I mean, I played the Game Boy game, start to finish, and then I played the PS3 version. But I guess the only thing I really didn't like about Chain of Memories was just how different the gameplay was, and it's just kind of like I wanted that steady flow. Like if I wanted a card game, I would have played my Yu-Gi-Oh game. Like I guess that was just
You wanted a children's card game. You would have asked for a children's card game.
Yeah, and I mean, like, the story is essential. Like, it definitely is. And I don't hate it. It's just slap, at the bottom. Like I said last week.
Also, Sean, isn't there something you want to talk about?
Yes. Resident Evil 7 came out yesterday.
And he's
And-
smiling.
Very, very big smile.
Because I have to talk about this for a good while. I'm kidding.
Go ahead.
The first thing I did when I popped it in was, of course, there was a day 1 patch, as usual.
Always.
And then it wasn't that big though, so I'm not sure what they changed. I didn't look into it, but I put the VR on and instantly went into that. And I did look at reviews before I went into this to see how the VR was, and I do definitely see why people complain about it, because the graphics, as when it comes to the main game versus the VR, are completely different. Like, the VR is so much low res than the main game, but you can really tell because at the very beginning you start outside and then you go into the house, but once you get into the house, it's not as bad. But for me, I mean, a lot of people have said what they think, but for me, it makes it worse, a lot worse. Because, I mean, once you, like, you'll say, oh, the graphics are bad or whatever, but once you actually start playing the game, it doesn't matter to you. Like, you're in the game. And I didn't last very long with the VR, I'm going to be honest, because they have two different things with it when it comes to the VR. It's the movement is weird because they have it set to this, by default, they have it set so when you move the right stick, it doesn't move your camera slowly, like a smooth transition. It goes by 30-degree angles, but you can change it to whatever angles you want, and you can change it to do it smoothly. But they suggest not to because it'll make you dizzy in motion stick. And I did try both versions of it, and the 30-degree angle thing it is like a lot better when it comes to like not getting dizzy and disoriented from playing the game. But when it comes to like the flow of the game and immersion, it takes away from it. And so I did play with the smooth, and I could only play for about 15 minutes with like a continuous play without having to take a break from it, just because I was just like, okay,
What you need to do, Sean, is you need to get some of those seasickness patches.
Oh yeah.
And just smack it on the back of your neck, then play the game.
Yeah. Because I don't normally get motion sick when it comes to VR. Like, it's weird for that to affect me, but for some reason it did. But it also didn't help the fact that it was scaring the crap out of me the whole time. So it was probably mixed emotions.
Did you get to that part that got me and Kate yesterday?
Well, no. This is what makes it sad. Is when I got to the VR part, I did the whole intro and I got into the house and I like walked through the house for like a few minutes and then I stopped because I couldn't handle it.
Oh, so you have to play it on both?
You don't have to, but you can. Like
so
VR,
the whole game's not VR?
No, VR you can play the whole game in VR.
Okay.
There's minor differences, like when you're playing in VR, occasionally in the main game, like you'll see when you interact with something, your character will grab it and open it, and you'll see his arms and stuff grab it and open it. In VR, it doesn't do that; it just opens.
So they didn't want to ruin that kind of immersion.
Yeah, and then when it comes, but there is times where like you'll see the arms like react to things, like when you first start the game, when you're walking through, there's like insects everywhere, and he'll like wave them, and even in the VR he does that. And when you are in the VR, his arm, like when you're in the regular game, you see like parts of his body, and like his arms are like connected to you, but in the VR they're like cut right here and they're floating around because it's a VR thing.
Yeah.
I don't know why people really complain about that too much, but I guess it's an immersion breaking thing, I guess. But from what I played with VR, it's really cool. I just have to take my time with it because like I said, it can make you really motion sick if you're not careful. And I got into the house. Like when you first go in the house, it's pitch black, and then you turn your flashlight on, and then you walk through the house, and there's like sounds like literally everywhere. And with the 3D sound, like in VR, it's not okay. It's not okay.
You'll be alright.
For those of you, since none of you know this, Tiffany may not even... Well, Tiffany does know this. Is that yesterday, Sean sat down in the lounge near the studio and had me and our friend Kate and was just like, we're going to watch somebody play this game.
Yeah.
So we got kind of far in.
Yeah.
And there was at one point where me and Kate both just almost run out of the room.
Yeah.
Because it actually got us.
Yeah. There are many jump scares that'll do that to you, like, because they'll be like, oh, well, I just accomplished this one goal, and I'm good, and then you turn around and then immediately get, like,
the moment you feel safe, you're no longer safe.
This is actually something I wanted to talk about, because in the main, like, I played with VR, without the VR headset a lot longer, and I got to, I got past that part,
Okay.
And there are parts where it seems like it's random when it comes to certain events happening, because there's something that happened to me that I haven't seen happen to anybody else, and I can't go into full detail on air, but because it's a major spoiler, I guess. But it threw me off and it scared the crap out of me because I didn't expect it at all.
It's possible it does make stuff random just to keep people on their toes.
And then, of course, another thing is, like, there are so many different ways that those characters can kill you. Like, it's not like a locked, like, thing. Like, some ways they will kill you the same way again and again, but, like, from what I saw, like, I died in one spot several times, and each time the guy killed me in a different way, and it was weird. They don't pull any punches when it comes to anything. They want you to feel as helpless as you can possibly be. So I love that, and I will play it until I finish
You
it.
love that sense of helplessness.
Yes, I do. I love that when it's supposed to make you feel that way. But that's enough gushing for me. So I give the game so far, I want to give it an 8, an 8.5 maybe, because
That's high.
Because it's a little bit lower for me because of the VR thing, because I think they could have done a little bit better. But then again, the VR, I'm assuming that they did this because, the lower quality with the PlayStation VR. But when it does release for the PC VR, for the various headsets, I think it'll be better on those. And don't get me wrong, I love the PlayStation VR, but because it's so easier to access because of the price, it's going to be lower in quality. So if you want a true VR experience with this game, I'm assuming it's going to be better with the PC versions.
There's also the fact that just in general, it can be kind of agreed the PS4 and Xbox One are both lower quality than PC anyway. So.
Yeah, definitely.
At least if you keep your PC updated.
Yeah.
PC Master Race.
So yeah, but I mean that's a whole other debate.
I know, I was just kidding.
I'm just saying that's
We're
a
not
whole other
starting
debate.
that fight today, Sean.
Yeah, that's a whole other debate.
But yeah, I just I'm not gonna give a full my full score on the game until I get farther than what I've seen before, because there's definitely a lot to this game I don't know about yet. So there we go.
Also, since we were talking about Resident Evil 7, we do have some Resident Evil 7 news.
Yay.
One thing is that Microsoft has it on the Play Anywhere program. For those of you who don't know what that is, it's basically that they release games and you buy them on one console, you buy them on Xbox One or PC, and then you can play it on the other.
That's awesome.
So far, it hasn't gotten a lot of third-party support though, so this is one of the first third-party things, and it's the first big game that's been released that's third-party. But there are other games on it, like Gears of War 4 is Play Anywhere. Mm-hmm. There's a few other games that I just can't think of off the top of my head. And then also, did you know that they canceled the Collector's Edition?
Yeah, I saw that last night when I was making the list.
Oh, the one with the mansion.
Because they broke, right?
Yeah, the mansion's broke. And I guess
so basically they recalled it, so they had to cancel it.
Yeah, I believe they're giving out refunds.
Okay.
Well, they could at least send a game to the people and just
they had
make
two
the
different
difference.
They had two different editions. They had obviously the deluxe edition, which didn't have that kind of stuff. And they had the deluxe edition that had various things, but didn't have the mansion, I think.
Yeah, this is specifically the collector's edition.
Yeah.
So.
But I know one of them. You had the deluxe edition that has the season pass with it, and it has various unlockable things in the unlockable things in the game that you have before anybody else does. You have the Madhouse difficulty, which is the hardcore difficulty, and then you also have no, that's from the demo. There's one thing about this game is if you've played the demo all the way through and unlocked things from the demo, you have this item that you use in the main game that nobody else has. So that's interesting. But
did they sell out of the other deluxe edition or whatever?
I don't know.
Probably at some point they did.
They don't have it.
Because they could have just sent all the codes to everything else and just maybe give them back a refund difference, or maybe hey, here's an option. If you still want the game, here's
Yeah.
the codes, whatever, or you can get your whole refund back.
Yeah.
I'm looking now.
I'm gonna say if it wasn't sold out, they could have just sent the deluxe out and then just gave them a refund difference. Because you know those people are gonna be mad that they can't play that game.
Yeah, they're gonna be mad.
Also,
But-
I do want to say that this is also exclusive to the UK, to a retailer in the UK. And it actually is like a £99 refund is what they're giving back.
So that's like more than $100.
Yeah, that's
Because our money is like worth less than theirs, isn't it?
no, theirs is worth, well,
I'm about to look
theirs
it up.
is worth less than ours.
Everything is compared to the dollar, so the dollar is normally higher than most other things.
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently 99 euros is equivalent of $106.
99 pounds sterling, not
Pounds.
euros. Britain has never used a euro. They
Okay.
never will now.
But
That ship sailed.
but what I was saying is
That's even worse. It's 100.
when I was gonna get the game, when I got the game, I was thinking about getting the deluxe edition, but I saw that it was like $80, like $90, and I was like, no, I'm good. I'll get the season pass later. I mean, I'll get the season pass when I feel like it.
Also, in commemoration for this is just something cool that I think people should go take a look at. There really isn't any news part of it. Is that in commemoration of Resident Evil 7, Game Informer did a retrospective on Resident Evil 4, and basically about why it's the most important third-person shooter ever,
Yeah.
apparently. And I think that's probably that could be debated, but it also is probably a lot of third-person shooters took stuff from Resident Evil 4.
Yeah.
And it was like the first third-person shooter Resident Evil game because all the other ones were different than that.
Yeah, like
The proper third-person shooter as
Yeah.
we think about it today.
well, that's one thing. I think I would say that a lot of third-person shooters now, it's kind of like what I said about PT in this game, like Resident Evil 7. It's like PT was just a demo. Like, it wasn't a full game. Like, it was a long demo, keep in mind that, but it revolutionized what the game industry what people wanted the game industry to make a horror game. So this game, like Resident Evil 7, obviously is another, it's probably one of the first full release games that comes from that. I mean, they can say whatever they want of it not being like that, but it definitely looks like it has ties to that. But and with Resident Evil 4, when they made Resident Evil 4, when I remember when I played it, I hadn't played a legit third-person shooter before, so for me that was really interesting. And whenever I play a horror third-person shooter, I think of that game. So that's just my opinion.
And I actually had something to say. Also, did you know that the whole radio broadcast from PT is in Metal Gear Solid 5?
It is.
Yes.
That's awesome.
There is a mission that is completely covered in fog, completely quiet, except for the entire radio broadcast from PT being played on the radio.
That's awesome.
And I'm just going to tell you this: there is also considering that every other time in that game there is mist, you are probably screwed.
Yeah.
That it was one of the most tense crawling
Yeah.
across the ground through a canyon I have ever had.
Yeah, no. That game.
It was so good, though.
Yeah, I
It was
love
so
that game.
good.
It's also ridiculously hard.
I
For
mean,
me at least.
That's that's a point, though.
But yeah, I mean, he definitely wanted it to be because the AI in that game was ridiculous. But he I could see that as being Kojima's it's an Easter egg, but I don't think it was it canceled at the time of that game coming out?
It was.
Okay.
By the
so
time of release, it
Yeah.
was. So it's probably Kojima being like, I'll sneak this in here.
Yeah. I will at least use it in this. And then in Death Stranding, the game that they're making now, Guillermo del Toro's in it. He's not creatively involved supposedly, but he's in the game.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
And Kojima still gets to work with Norman Reedus, which
Yeah.
is apparently just his dream.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I thought his dream was also to work with Guillermo del Toro like creatively, but if he's not being creatively involved, then I'm just like, maybe Guillermo del Toro doesn't want to mess with his vision, because I mean, from what trailers I've seen, like, I was like, wow, like, it looks legitimately creepy and awesome. But
And it has that guy from Force. It has that guy from
Rogue One.
Rogue One.
Yeah, and the bad guy from Doctor Strange.
Yeah, I can't remember his name.
Mads Mikkelsen. I can't remember his first name. But yeah, that guy. He's a really cool. He's a really creepy bad guy too. But we got off subject a little bit.
A little bit.
Show. What
It's all
happens.
Taylor's fault.
Hey. Yes, it is.
So, The Division introduces a new game mode in the latest patch. Does anybody know about that?
It's right now. It's in testing,
Uh-huh.
but apparently they're releasing a new game mode. They're just doing a lot more stuff. They're doing. They're actually doing bug fixes.
They need to do that so bad.
My thoughts basically the reason I set this one in was because I thought, oh crap, they're still supporting The Division.
Yeah, what I'm saying is what is the new, what would they do? Like, what is the new game mode?
Let me actually just open the article and look.
Because I don't, for me, I haven't played the game, so
The
I don't
game's
really know.
okay. It's just if you stop too much, you lose momentum and you never get it back. Like, it's one of those games like
Yeah.
you're either going to play through it all at once or you're never going to finish it.
Gotcha.
If that makes any sense.
I also
Kind of
heard
like
just
Metal Gear Solid 5.
No. I actually, there's one mission of that game I still need to finish.
I need to get. Well, my thing is I stopped playing it and then I tried to pick it back up and I was like, crap.
It's something you have to get used to.
Yeah, because I was like, the gameplay is so much different than all the other Metal Gear 5s, all the other Metal Gear games. I mean, because for me at least, it is similar, but at the same time, you have to be a lot more cautious and with everything.
It's basically it's harder than some other Metal Gear games.
Well, it's like the normal difficulty is almost like hardcore mode on some of them.
Yeah, because I remember that when I first played Metal Gear. Here's my story for Metal Gear. I played Ground Zeroes. That was the first Metal Gear game I ever played.
Really?
It was free on Xbox One. And so I got it. I was like, okay, I'm going to see if I like Metal Gear, because I'd never played it. So I liked it a lot. It was great. And then I was like, I need to play this game. So I went and got the 360 Metal Gear collection, which has Metal Gear Solid 2, Metal Gear Solid 3, Metal Gear Solid not Portable Ops, but
Peace Walker.
Peace Walker.
Yeah.
And I've played through 2 and 3. I've not played through Peace Walker yet. And Metal Gear Solid 2 was like the first proper Metal Gear game I ever played.
Yeah.
And then I played 3, and then when Metal Gear Solid 5 came out, I got it that Christmas.
Yeah.
And it is my favorite game of all time.
Yeah.
But it is significantly harder than 2 for sure. I don't know if I'll say it's harder than 3, but
it is, but it's in a different way. Because 3 is my favorite.
Yeah.
Like when it comes to the old games.
That's understandable.
It's definitely story wise and everything. I think is beautifully done. It's definitely got its weirdness to it, but that's any Metal Gear game. But by far that one was I've played that game through so many times, and I've found so many I've played through all the secrets and stuff, and I was obsessed with that game.
Yeah.
And then I haven't played too much of Peace Walker, but to give you an idea of what that game's like, it's okay. So you know how in Metal Gear 5 you are building your base.
Yeah.
Peace Walker is the same way.
Yeah, I've played a little bit of Peace Walker.
Yeah.
I just haven't played through it.
Except the main thing with Peace Walker is you can you make your army basically with all the characters and stuff, which is really cool. And the Peace Walker story is definitely weird. It's a lot weirder than the
It's
other
Metal
ones.
Gear. It's
Yeah.
all weird. Also, I have that up on the new game mode. In the new game mode on The Division, you engage in 8 versus 8 PvP and secure data before the rogues can. fighting for control over 3 tactical locations on one of the 4 Dark Zone maps.
Thank goodness. Like,
It also has a new
They
incursion
needed
called
more
Lost
people.
Signal.
thank goodness. Like oh my goodness. Like the player versus player. That's a good thing. Like if
Is
you
that what that game needed? That game needed
yeah, like
anything?
I mean, like it was better, when you're playing with people you know, obviously, because most games are. But man, it's just like you just after like a couple of weeks, you just lost motivation to get on and play. So that is something. As long as they do it right, that is something they needed.
Yeah.
Yep.
I haven't played that game. I was interested, but I just never picked it up because I haven't
No.
played any of those games. So I'm just like, eh.
Yeah, I saw it at E3 when they announced it where they went over it the last time or whatever, and I thought, oh, that looks kind of interesting, and then then it came out and everyone was like, this is not what we expected.
Yeah.
It's the only one of those games I've played, and technically I didn't buy it. Somebody else bought it for me, so I would play online with them, and I was like, because at first I was kind of like, nah, I'm not going to buy a game that I really don't have interest in. They're like, well, I'll buy it for you. And I was like, sure, give me a game. And I
Yeah.
just kind of wasn't like, but I mean, I wasn't let down as some people were, because
Yeah.
I didn't have the other exposure, so I kind of like it a little bit more than most of my friends do, but all my other friends who've played the other games are just kind of like, why did you do this to me?
Yeah.
How could this happen to me?
Like,
I
they
know.
went emo.
Yeah, but when it comes to like I'm just gonna go on a tangent for a second. When it comes to games, even if it's like something I followed for a while, I tried it like with Resident Evil. I'm gonna keep saying it. I keep my expectations low because even with movies, I keep my expectations low. So if it is good, it'll make I'll be blown away, and if it's not good, I'm not as disappointed. No Man's Sky. Anyways, but yeah, I'm not gonna even go into it. But you get what I mean. I just don't want to get too disappointed if it's bad because I mean I still want to enjoy the games, but I just hate it when they promise stuff. Like any developer, they promise it to be a certain way, and it turns out completely different.
See, I'm like that too, but the way I kind of combat a lot of that is I do this with movies as well, and like sometimes books give you like leads up to it, but they have to be like a very popular book.
Yeah.
I usually watch like the first trailer, or if they showed it at E3, I'll watch that. But then I avoid just about any other news, and then eventually, like if I don't know if it's going to be online or not, because I mean some games you can just tell. I'll look that up, and then when it comes time for it to come out, then I looked what the options are.
Yeah.
And I might look at a score, but I will not read a review. So, I mean, sometimes that's gotten me some gems, and other times I got bit in the butt for it.
Yeah. I mean, that happens.
And I do that with movies, too. Like, I won't watch second or third trailers. Like, I just refuse.
I did what Sean did
Yeah.
for 2 games in particular that I can remember that were just important, and that was Halo 5 and Assassin's Creed Syndicate.
Yeah,
Halo
okay,
5,
okay,
Halo
yeah.
5, I was kind of just like, Halo 4 wasn't bad, but I wasn't great either, so I'm kind of like, eh. And with that one, I actually found that is my favorite Halo game to just play.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have the best story of any Halo game, and I play games for story, but to play that game plays to perfection.
Mm-hmm.
And I wrote a review for it for Chanticleer once.
Awesome.
And with Assassin's Creed Syndicate, I hated Unity because Unity, it is another game that I will put under hot garbage.
We're gonna go into a chat about this for a second. I'm not a huge Assassin's Creed fan, but the only one I've played all the way through, and I don't care what anybody says to go ahead and kill me, was 3.
I love 3.
And
I love that.
as far as story wise, I mean 3 isn't my favorite. I mean it's good. It's a good game, but 2, I love 2. 1, I could play it and enjoy it more, but I hate going back because I don't like the controls in 1.
Yeah, it's weird going back to that game.
And I like Brotherhood and Revelations, but Brotherhood is really good. Like it's one of my favorites. And when I played Unity, everything felt wrong about it. Like the game, like the way your character controls is weird. Like he just feels goofy. And then the story was complete crap. And
Like I didn't want a love story right now, guys. So that wasn't what I came here for.
you want to know what?
It's
my
a weird
favorite-
love story too. Like it's not even a good
I
one.
told my brother like it's sad that my favorite part of that whole game was the intro that was misleading you, where you were like in the medieval times and you were playing as the Templar dude. That was so cool. Like the graphics were better in that one section than in the rest of the game.
Well, Ubisoft is just weird.
And then
Yeah.
and then in Syndicate, when I played Syndicate, I was like, Syndicate, that style, like that Victorian like / industrial era time frame, like with the style of that game is like stuff that I love to a T. So I was like, that's awesome. If they pull this off, I will love this game. And I do love that game. But
I love that game.
But I mean, there's some things that I don't like about it. But I mean, it's just me being picky because I'm not a huge Assassin's Creed person. But at the same time, it's way better than Unity. Way better.
It's everything Unity should be.
Yeah. Now we are going to talk about. We want to talk about Game Edit, or do you want to talk about something else first?
I just want to mention that it's been confirmed that Life is Strange is getting a TV series. Because
That
I
is
feel
awesome.
like that's
Yeah.
something that we should mention because Life is Strange is really good.
I could also talk about Life is Strange for a long time because I love Life is Strange. Like Tiffany's the one who actually showed me Life is Strange, and as soon as I started playing it, I died.
My friend Paul is the one who showed me. He at one point after all the episodes of Life is Strange came out, he just spent an entire week streaming each episode like one every night, and then and I think he did on Saturday. He did all of them in one day.
Yeah.
And that was a crazy week.
Yeah.
So worth it though.
Yeah, and the fact, like, I think the show that they're doing is it on that it's not on like TV. It's on
Like I think it's on Netflix or something like that.
it's
I'm looking now, but it's
can't
probably
remember.
on
It's
Netflix
on like
as well.
because they did something similar before with a video game.
And you know, it kind of works out because Life is Strange is already episodic.
Yeah, so it could work out like a show because it already is kind of like a show.
Which I mean, yeah, like, but I'm wondering if they're gonna like add on to the story, or they're just gonna have somebody with her powers, or
Maybe, I don't know.
because
But-
like the ending's kind of like final, like
Yeah,
Yeah, it says it would be like the Marvel stuff on Netflix, but it doesn't really say what it would be on.
okay, so that's
okay.
probably why I thought Netflix.
yeah,
I mean, it really just seems like the kind of thing that you would probably just find on Netflix.
yeah,
I bet you it's that or Hulu,
yeah.
because I don't think Amazon would pick it up.
No, that's definitely not something Amazon's picking up, but Hulu might.
Yeah,
And if it's
that's
not going to be on TV, that I bet you it's going to be somebody else with like her powers,
true.
or maybe somebody.
Or
who
maybe
got-
they'll just retell the game. They can do that.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
It takes out what's good about the games that you get to choose.
yeah,
But-
I don't know. I just feel like that. I'm like, unless I don't know, it'd be like if The Walking Dead would have done that with the Telltale games.
Yeah,
You'd been kind of annoyed, like, yeah, it's the same story. You get your own swing, but you know how it's originally supposed to go.
Yeah.
So you're just kind of like, ugh.
yeah.
Yeah,
that's true.
I like the way The Walking Dead actually. They did that with The Walking Dead.
I think they should just tell it in a different way with a different person, but with the same kind of
Concepts.
yeah.
Or maybe show like the villain's point of view through the whole thing, and like even show like when her powers changed, like maybe like
Yeah,
do the effects of it,
yeah.
and then like have it kind of all abstract and
Hmm.
trippy.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Um,
I just hope they do it well
yeah.
because that's the only thing I care about.
Also, Gabe Newell's in the news.
Yeah, of course. And for me, this kind of hits home because like when I first got really big into PC gaming, I played pretty much every Half-Life thing that they had out, and I love Half-Life 2 with a fiery passion, and the fact that
Do you kiss Half-Life 2 before you go to sleep at night?
not every night, but
Ah, your girlfriend's gotta be jealous.
Some nights it's Resident Evil 7.
but anyways, just the fact of what made me mad about this whole thing was like he keeps like there's been like, of course, the rumor mill, it's been out forever, and you can't just say rumors about these types of things and take them for heart, because obviously, I mean, they might make a Half-Life 3, they might never make a Half-Life 3. What I hate about it the most is because is the teasing. Like, oh, well, I might do it, who knows? And he made in this, he said he was teasing them, saying that you never say the number 3, which I get it, but it's still just aggravating.
You should probably clarify that the news is actually that Gabe Newell has announced that Valve is working on single-player games again.
Yeah, I should probably say that.
And that he teased that they're interested in revisiting the Half-Life universe. The thing is that what I think is actually more likely is that means we're getting another Portal game.
Yeah, exactly, since they're both in the same universe.
Yeah, so we'll probably get another Portal game. We're probably never going to see Half-Life 3 ever. Don't start yelling Half-Life 3 confirmed, because it's really not, and that makes us all very, very sad.
Hashtag.
Yeah.
Hashtag very sad. And
I need to play a Portal game.
you've never played a Portal game?
Mm-mm.
I mean,
I
can understand,
know about it though.
I can understand like not playing them, but I would suggest it, because those games. I mean, I like those games. I would say I played Portal 2 way more than I played Half-Life 2.
I saw the ending of Portal 2 and it kind of threw me off from playing the rest of the game.
I'll play the rest of the game. We can play co-op. It's fun.
Play Portal 1 too.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as like the game as a whole, Portal 2 is better, but I don't think they expected Portal 1 to get as big of a retention as it did.
They didn't.
Yeah. So the Portal 1 was like, I guess it was as ironic as it was, a test.
Yeah.
And it passed.
It has
colors.
Portal 1 has this kind of weird indie feel to it.
Yeah.
Sometimes. Portal 2 feels like much more of a big budget production.
Well, Portal 1, it's like it has less of a story.
Yeah.
And then when you get through with it, it's like it's not abrupt, but it's like, oh well, that was it. And then
that was the thing we did.
Yeah, and then of course the song at the end of the credits, which I love, and
played that on our first show this semester.
Yeah, and then and then Portal 2 hits, and you're just like, oh, this one actually has a story. This one makes you feel bad about the bad guy, but who cares?
There's a lot of passive aggression about murdering someone, just so you all know.
Yeah. But I really, really love those games, and I love Valve's games. I just wish
I love it when Valve actually makes games, but they don't make enough games.
Yeah, I know.
I would love to give them more money.
Yeah, but
they don't want my money.
They want your money from Steam.
Yeah.
That's all they want it from.
They don't want me to give them my direct money.
Yeah, but I just hope. I don't really care if it's a Portal game or a Half-Life game. I just want them to make another game.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I don't know. I don't know which one I would like better. How about we have a Portal game where Gordon Freeman helps out? Give me a Portal game with Gordon Freeman.
That would be hilarious. Even though he'd be just staring creepily at them.
Yeah.
Like this, he doesn't say anything ever.
For those of you who don't know, me and Sean are locking eyes creepily at one another right now.
And then, or just have like have G-Man just show up every now and then.
And just be like,
yeah.
We've hired you to use this portal gun, and she's just like, I've been using this portal gun like all the time.
Like my whole life, pretty much.
As long as I can remember, I've been doing nothing but portals.
Time to smell the ashes. But I just, and they also said that they asked him about a Left 4 Dead game, and I was like, I don't care. Like,
I would be okay with another Left 4 Dead game.
I love Left 4 Dead, but when it comes to their games, I would prefer to have another Portal or Half-Life game. But I mean, Left 4 Dead is a fun game series. Like the first game and the second game were both really good, but as far as like having a full-fledged story game, I want Portal or Half-Life.
Why don't we do a Left 4 Dead game with a fully fledged, deep, impactful story?
That would be good, but that would also be Dead Rising.
Dead Rising with friends?
Yeah, that's true. That is
Next Dead Rising game coming to you next year. Dead Rising with friends. Kind of like golf with your friends.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not golf. It's
And
zombie killing.
less rage. Okay. Does anybody else have any topics they want to talk about?
Oh, I have an article coming out this week in the Chanticleer
About what?
about JSU Esports.
Oh,
Did you
so
guys know we had an esports organization
I'm
on this
actually
campus?
kind of involved with it, except I haven't been involved with it. So I'm technically part of it, but I haven't done anything with them.
I knew we had a gaming club because when I first looked into the school, I looked into the clubs and stuff, and
Yeah.
I knew that was a thing. And apparently, I got added into the JSU Pokemon League or whatever
Yeah,
on
me too.
Facebook, but like I've never done anything.
Mhm.
So I knew that kind of stuff existed. So the esports thing doesn't really surprise me.
A guy named Trey Hilburn started this up last semester. Pretty nice guy. I actually sat
That's
down and
cool.
talked to him, and that's where most of my article comes from, is just an interview with him.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
he has a lot of like I guess good ideas for the esports thing, and I really hope it works out. I would love to be a part of it, but like I said, the only like I told him and stuff, the only team I'd actually stand a chance of being on would be for Overwatch, because that's the best game. That's out of the games that they play. That's the one I'm the best at.
Yeah.
So.
So yeah, that's there next week, and I may have a review in there too. I've sent in a review. I
Yeah.
just don't know.
I want to go back to Kingdom Hearts for a second,
Okay.
because I have questions about the game and how it plays. So, when it comes to like I can't remember what it's called in that game, but the movement, like
Yeah.
the zipping around and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, how does that feel?
I mean, the whole game is smooth as butter.
Like
Like it does not feel clunky at
Do
all.
you do the movement like you did in the 3DS version, where it's like, is it like action reaction command type of stuff, or what?
A little bit.
Okay, because I remember
Like they ported it really well, because remember, like, PlayStation has a touchpad and stuff.
Yeah.
Like they really did a good port.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to say everything, because I've only played about 2 or 3 hours of it, which I
Yeah.
mean, I know the game story isn't long, but I just been kind of running around,
Yeah.
because that's what happens.
Well, and with that game, I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you, there's a lot of side stuff, and when you start getting closer to end game, the more impossible that game gets. And Riku's stuff is a lot harder than Sora's stuff.
Oh, the
It
person
should
I
be.
watched online a few years ago made that perfectly clear.
Like, everything's harder for Riku, because the world is against Riku for
But I
something.
mean, it was like that in Chain of Memories too, like Riku's
Yeah.
little
No
second
one
time.
loves Riku,
I
even
love
though he's
Well, I
the
mean,
best
he's a-
character in that whole game.
Well, I mean, if you're in that universe and you're not, and you're on like Sora's side, you can kind of see why they're not into him.
Yeah.
Even though Sora's an idiot and forgives him, but
Yeah, like for me, I think, well, the whole time when I started realizing that Riku's side was a lot harder than Sora's, I was like, if anything, he's the one that should be the Keyblade Master, not Sora. And then
then
yeah,
Then the end happened.
We can't spoil that
Sorry,
for people.
spoilers.
That game's like what, 3 years old? I think it's okay to spoil.
But I mean, a lot of people didn't want to buy a DS or a 3DS
well,
to play those.
I mean, but it's okay. I wasn't saying anything else. I was just saying the
Yeah.
fact that, well, they're taking a test to become Keyblade Masters,
Yeah.
and I think Riku deserves it more than anybody else.
Yeah, but I mean, with his decisions, it's probably for the better.
Well, the test was like, in my opinion, for him, the test was so he could fight that. So he could fight that side of him that was still kind of in the dark.
Yeah, well, we saw how that turned out.
Yeah, but, I mean,
I understand it. It's like,
Turned out well.
yeah, I mean, it makes sense, and it's a good story. It's a good plot. I'm fine with it. It's just, when you think about it, like if you were in their shoes, you're just kind of like, eh. But I mean, it made a great story out of it.
yeah.
And
Well,
I like
like-
playing as Riku. Like, I like it that it's more, like, not, I haven't played it, in this game, but, like, in Chain of Memories, his was more fun because it was harder.
I've always seen Riku as like the tragic hero, though.
I mean, yeah.
I've
Basically.
seen Riku as the protagonist that series deserves.
Yeah. But when
Because
I'm,
Riku has an actual story arc.
and the other thing is I want to ask about is, have you done anything besides that game? Like, did you do any of the new stuff, like the Aqua game or the?
No, I'm
Okay.
waiting.
Oh, okay.
I like to do, like, one thing at a
Yeah.
time.
Because I was saying is I think the Aqua thing that's an actual game, but the other thing is just cinematics, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm really curious about that, like, because I want to know how that is.
Yeah, but I want to play Aqua first.
Yeah.
Like,
know,
I mean,
gotcha.
Oh, I mean, you can do whatever you want. I don't care.
I was just curious because I mean I wanted to see if you had already done it.
Honestly, though, what's going to happen is I'm probably going to play like a tiny game in between them. That's how I usually go instead of just playing one after the other. So honestly, I'm probably going to play like the second Lego Harry Potter game, then go back to Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
Because I'm just like that.
Specifically that game.
Well, I was thinking about it anyways, and I need to finish like Final Fantasy 15 and World of Final Fantasy. So
you do need to finish Final Fantasy 15.
Well, I mean the story. Like
I need to get Final Fantasy 15.
Yes, you do.
Yes.
That's the review that may be coming this week or next week.
Yeah. What did you review it?
I did on Xbox.
We can't do it and ruin Sean. Like me and him have been friends for years. I'll protect him.
I don't give numbers. I just give recommendations.
Oh, okay. I gotcha.
All right. Well, I think that's all the time we have for the day.
Yeah. We talked about pretty much everything we were going to talk about. I wanted to get back to Kingdom Hearts because I'm really excited for 3. Like super excited.
Yeah, but you know what they said? We're not gonna see it anytime soon.
I'm gonna
just a little bit of salt there.
I just want to go to Square Enix and slap them all.
I'm more mad about Final Fantasy VII because the whole reason of them separating the game was to get it out faster. That's more annoying than like them pushing off a game they're changing all this stuff again.
Tiffany, maybe because they're taking longer on Kingdom Hearts 3. Maybe they'll decide to put it on Xbox One after all.
They won't.
Oh my gosh, so cold. Well, maybe if they do,
you just destroyed all my dreams.
Look, so if they're doing the thing for PS4 where it's like 1.5 and 2.5, maybe they should put that one in Xbox One.
Yeah, If they were to do that, then I would buy that they put it on 3. But it just makes no sense, and they probably won't because I guess Square Enix is not a big fan of Microsoft.
I'm gonna start a petition. Just to get those games on my Xbox.
Watch it be on Twitch.
Yeah.
Not Twitch, Switch.
Yeah, but that would be funny. It's like, oh, Kingdom Hearts is on Nintendo Switch, but you don't get it at Xbox. But yeah, I think that's all we got for the day. So
that would make me buy a Switch, though.
Yeah, definitely. So, any last remarks, guys?
Have a great day.